What's going on, guys? Ryan Wells here at Millennium Games Rochester, the biggest game store in the country. I got top 8 at the Millennium Games Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Regional. I played Ryzeal, mitsurugi, fiendsmith. Deck was very good, very consistent. My only losses were to variance and one misplay. But we'll go ahead and get into it. It's a 44 card list, but everything's pretty self-explanatory. 2 ice, 2 X, 2 sword, 1, and 1. You have to play star because if you open this in combination with this or this, with the fiendsmith and mitsurugi cards, you need to set this up so you don't auto lose the draw. So you just go this into this, get the field spell, make duo drive, and just play past draw if they have it. I played 3 engraver, 1 lacrima, 1 Larry. One of the reasons why I wanted to play this engine, particularly with the Ryzeal and mitsurugi, was because I had a feeling there's going to be a lot of mitsurugi players out there, and if you open this or the trap when they have Murakumo, then it just gives you a free buy to extend with for the discard. Then 3 of the broken card. This card does way too much. This card bridges you into all 3 engines, which is absolutely insane. And then just 1. You don't need more than 1 since you're playing the 3 engines together. And then just 1 of the smaller ones each. I played Night Short Serpent because you wanted to maximize your ceiling. So if you open just mitsurugi, I wanted the easiest path to go into all 3 engines without using your normal summon. That's it for the engine monsters. And then I played 3 prayers, arguably the best mitsurugi spell card. 2 tracked, didn't need more than 2. End up siding one of these out with an engraver when I'm going second. And then 1 ritual, didn't need more than 1. You can recycle it with the purple guy. Kusanagi. And then 1 bonfire, 1 cross, and then 1 paradise. That's pretty much it for the engine cards. And then for non-engine, 3 Fuo, very standard. 3 Ash, standard. Need counters for Charmies. 3 Droll, you have to play it because everything's searching. 3 Imperm, and then 1 Called By, 1 Talents.
Would you ever think about playing Cross Out if you're thinking there's going to be a decent amount of mirrors or like anything like that?
Not really. You don't really need it. So, your only biggest singular threat is Droll. So if you're playing the mirror, then the deck has already inherently great ways to break through boards. And since you're playing cards like Serpent and Lyri and Paradise, if they force you to discard, you're getting a free discard anyways, and you're always in a winning position as long as you have 2 of the 3 engines to push and playing so much engine between the 3, you're always going to have a way to at least push. Like, there was multiple games where I didn't open hand traps and I just pushed and broke boards going second with the 3 engines, and it just made it so much more consistent and easy. But no, crossout's not really needed. It's more of a fail-safe card. And if you're relying on drawing cross out to either play around Droll or to play around the mirror, then you're just not really comfortable with trying to facilitate your plays and get the max utilization of your cards properly. But it's preference at the end of the day. For the extra deck, 1 Desiree, 1 Necroquip, 1 Agnumde, 1 Sequence, 1 Moon. You have to play this because with prayers, With prayers, you need to have this card because sometimes you have to link away your Murakumo with your duo drive when you're not locked into rank at level 4s, and make this after you get your follow-up to go into your fiendsmith line. 1 Requiem, and then everything else is just succeeds. 1 Aggregator, you have to play it. 1 Caesar, pretty much the main reason why you want to play fiendsmith. 1 Castell because Storm is a degenerate card.
You are a degenerate person.
Yeah. I actually didn't storm a single person. I used this to break boards a couple times and force them to interact with this when I already had extra sword in hand. So I didn't actually Featherstorm anyone, but you have to have it, unfortunately. I played Emerald. You don't need this. This is more of a win more card. Put your names back after you use one of the rituals to either add prayers back to hand, or to, if you already added the ritual and you didn't need to ritual from deck or hand again. 1 imps, you have to play it. Twins, Exciton, Duo Drive, and Detonator. So pretty much everything's self-explanatory. The only thing I maybe would change is, in its preference, is taking this out for another Duo Drive, just to make the combo with X and having Duo Drive have an additional attachment more live when you're starting your combo.
Did you ever think of replacing it with Baguska?
No, so I was originally playing Baguska. The reason why I didn't was because I didn't want people to go Special X, send Aggregator, and just out the Baguska that way. I was originally playing Baguska and planning on either ending on both Baguska and Detonator to force my opponent to pick and choose, but I just felt like it wasn't really necessary, because if you play against Malice, it doesn't do anything. If you play against Ryzeal, then they just out the Baguska and then they just board wipe you. But other than that, it really wasn't that needed. It was a thought though. And then for the side deck, 3 Lancia, card just too good against Malice, best card. 2 Perulia.
You also need it for Crystron.
Yes, I played Crystron too, and that almost turn skipped him. I had this and this against Crystron, and it was pretty much a turn skip. So these are going to be kind of weird. I played 1 Nib and 1 Bell. I didn't play the guy to search Nib, but I wanted access to both of these cards, but I couldn't decide which one I wanted more. In hindsight, I would main deck this card at 2 and cut 1 Imperm, because this hits the format at a wider range, and Imperm almost always has to be paired with another card. But this against cards like Prayers, Malice Underground, the Rituals to come back,
Whitebinder, GWC,
like
Marcher.
It hits everything. This you almost always have to pair with another card, but it is super necessary to play. I got cooked with this plus Ash, so.
Yeah.
1 time card, because you have to play it, unfortunately.
Yep.
And then thrusts and the thrust targets. This was really good against Crystron. I was playing Regeki and I put this back in. I didn't want to go against Lab and not have more than 1 out to their back row.
Yeah.
But this was really good against Crystron. It was also really good against Ryzeal, just to get the prayers and the trap out of the way.
It also knocks out Cross.
Yeah, and to get rid of Cross. And then these are just self-explanatory.
Well, Sanctum. A lot of people are starting to cut that card.
I don't see why.
Impulse and Ash.
Well, I mean, if they have it, they have it. Against Malice, like, you want to have
as many ways
to get them to stop playing as possible. So if they out this and you have this, then you're still good. If they out this and they droll you, you this into this, make Castel, and then they just pass anyways.
That's fair. I mean, would you ever consider swapping the Sanctum out for maybe a Chaos Hunter as their replacement? Because Chaos Hunter also works with the fiendsmith edge and being able to discard the Lurie to trigger it.
So I was on the fence with Chaos Hunter. I wanted to do a 3-2 split or a 3-1, but I know people were playing Thrust more. But I didn't want to give my opponent a way to gain more advantage on my turn, unless I was already unless I nibbed them for their board. It just didn't really. I wanted to just have more outs to pretty much a wider range. I didn't want to focus so much on 1 or 2 cards. And with Lancia, you have 3 additional copies.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just super self-explanatory.
Yeah.
The deck performed very well. I didn't have a single problem playing into boards or breaking boards. I lost on stream twice. I only bricked 1 time, and that was in the last round. and it was completely unplayable. And then I lost on stream because I accidentally put a thrust into the graveyard when I just needed to activate talents to win the game. Or not talents, but track to win the game because he had one dude. And Agnumde won that game right there. But I got 8th, and everything went very, very well. Thank you so much.